Hello ladies and gents, welcome to the channel, Mantok here. As you can see, I'm not playing FSX, I'm not flying an aircraft, I am sailing a ship. This particular ship is actually a brig, and we are currently in the early alpha access of a game called Naval Action, which is basically a bit like Pirates of the Burning Sea, if anyone has ever heard or played of that. It's an Age of Sail combat game. This is more of a simulator than any other Age of Sail game I've ever come across before, and therefore I've been incredibly interested in it since... oh crap, someone's telling me to get in line. Why? Why? I'm gonna get in line just for you guys. I'm going to change to chain. There we go. I'm not going to die. There's only 2 cutters and a brig. Anyway, as I was saying, so this is a simulator for basically the best simulator of the Age of Sail that I've ever come across. We are currently in a player versus action. I'm going to just change to ball shot instead. Screw trying to, you know, take their sails off or anything. We're in a player versus AI game right here, so I've got 2 allies of mine. You can see downwind of me there. Another fellow brig and a cutter. Oh no, a lynx. We are versus 2 cutters and a brig, which are AI controlled. I heard about this game probably 2-3 weeks ago and started researching it, and I've never in my life actually gone into or bought my way into an early alpha access. But what I saw in this game really interested me. I've been waiting for a game like this to come out for a long time. Wasn't terribly good with that shot there, but let's just change to gunnery. And I'm currently tacking to... I think that's... yeah, no, that's a port. I'm on a port tack right now. You can see down in the bottom left, you can see my ship and my sails in relation to where the wind is coming from. And when I right click, I go down into the firing mode, where I can actually look at my cannons. If I hit space, I can actually fire a ranging shot, which is incredibly helpful to help range your broadside. Now I know that's exactly where they're going to be, where he's going to be. That fell slightly short because he's going away from me. I'm actually going to change to battle sails, so I'm going to bring up some of my sails, so I go slower, but I'm also more stable, and therefore giving me a slightly easier firing solution on this enemy brig. So what I want to do, oh, boom. Ah, I'm usually much better than this. There we go. These guys are crap. He's missing as well, so what I want to do is produce some videos on the tactics of this game, and on the tactics of, you know, naval warfare in these days. I was an avid reader of Patrick O'Brien's novels, 26-book series. The first book in the series was called Master and Commander, and that is where the Master and Commander video has come from, where Russell Crowe, you know the one with Russell Crowe? That one, yeah. I'm actually just individually firing my cannons, as opposed to a rolling, as opposed to a full broadside at the moment, because I have greater accuracy that way. Yeah, see, every single one of my cannons is shot, is falling on target. So all of my guns are reloading one after the other. It's because I've been firing in this rolling broadside way. So every 8 seconds or so a new gun loads. What he's doing there, what the French guy is doing there, is he's actually reloading all his cannons in one go and firing a massive volley or broadside. But I actually prefer this method of firing, checking where the shot is falling, firing again, and rinse and repeat as necessary. And actually, I can see right now I need to start pumping out the water from inside my ship, because if you look on the bottom right hand corner, you can see the water is actually seeping up into the ship. So that bottom left hand corner, you can see. But now I've switched my crew skill to survival. They are actually going to man the pumps, and that is a priority of theirs now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do full left rudder, and I'm going to put all my sails out and do a quick turn. You can actually manually control your sails as well in this game, which is cool. I'm just going to twist my sails like that, and that's going to assist my turn greatly. You can auto-manage your sails, so that your sails are managed automatically by the skipper, and you select that by the F button. But in certain particular movements, especially like tacking, which you will see in a second, you should learn to use your sails manually, and this is where a knowledge of how the fundamentals of sail work, how sails work in general, is very, very helpful. And now, actually, if you look down in the bottom left, negative 0.2 kilometers per hour. We were actually sailing backwards there for a short moment while we were turning through the angle of the wind. Tacking is basically taking the ship and turning it through the wind, by the way. And that is a broadside. Boom. And the advantage of what I just did in turning around is now I've turned around, and the side of my ship that he was previously hitting is now facing away from him, and now I'm facing my undamaged side towards him. But he, if you notice, he has not changed sides at the same time as I have. So I am still hitting the side that I've always been hitting, and he is now hitting the side of my ship which has been undamaged. So I can actually hit 5 on the numpad, and then I can hit number 1 to select armor. So that's going to use one of my repairs to repair my armor, and therefore you can see his left-hand side of his ship is dangerously low now. Now I'm I'm going to employ this rolling broadside tactic, which I find very accurate, because you know that once you've got your elevation, you select your elevation with your mouse up and down and left and right, and you hit hold the shift key to zoom in with your binoculars to get a closer look, and you press the space bar to do to shoot a ranging shot, which is just one single cannon, and you press your left mouse button to do a full broadside. And you can see down in the bottom at the bottom of my screen, you see where there's a circle which has a 0 in it, and it's basically charging up at the moment, and it says ball. That basically means I have currently selected ball shot, which is single shot ammo. You see that was slightly high, bring it down slightly, try again, boom, on target. And away we go again. And he's very low in the water now. You see all of the armor on his left hand side is completely gone. If you look in the top right hand corner, that is my adversary's. Yep, and he is now sinking. Right there, he is sunk. We have destroyed him and we have won. Now, that target has now been eliminated. Let's just have a look. There's only one more cutter left alive on the enemy team. If we hold in shift and zoom in, we can see that the ship nearest us, actually, the French... Oh no, that's not French, that's English, okay. That one is... Okay, it's the ship that's furthest away from us. That is the last remaining enemy. So we probably won't get there in time to actually have a hand in dealing damage, since we have a friendly brig in the area. You can see there who will probably take him out before we get there. So that'll give us a good opportunity to have a chat. So that was fun. Let's just center my rudder. If you look in the bottom left hand corner, at the very bottom you can see a horizontal line and a dash that goes left to right, you see, and that is basically my A and W keys, which is I can push left or right. I'm going to change now my cruise skill to sailing, which is I hit 6 on the numpad on the keyboard above, and for some reason, I have no idea why, I'm going really slowly. Why am I sailing so slow and my sails are at 100%? I think the wind just must be very, very calm at the moment. I'm sailing with the wind. He seems to be sailing quite quickly. I'm just going to head straight towards them. So while I wait to get downwind and wait for an answer, we will have a chat. Actually, the wind has changed slightly there in the last few minutes that I was talking. It changed slightly. The reason why I'm going slow could be some damage I took when firing against the enemy brig. If you see at the bottom of, I think if I hold control down, I can point with my cursor. You see down in the bottom here, you can see there's a slight blue sliver. It would help if ship names didn't disappear, yeah. There's a slight blue sliver. That is water that fills up, and once the water fills up over halfway, you're pretty much dead. So you always have to watch that, and as soon as you see the water filling up, you need to hit the survival key, which puts all of your crew into the mode of looking after the ship. Or, oh, I know why. It's because I had my sails on manual the entire time. You see this here, skipper auto. It was on manual, so yeah. Now look at my speed is now going up. Silly me. It's because I was concentrating on talking with you guys. It's because whenever I did that that last tack, basically, I didn't flick the F button back to auto. So there we go. We're going about 12 knots now. So as you can see, this is the wind. See the arrow there, and that's the wind direction, so we're actually sailing kind of across the wind on, it's kind of almost a beam reach if you know your points of sail. I used to sail in real life as a younger guy. I used to sail small single-manned sailing dinghies. I never got into the yachts or anything. That would have been fun, but I didn't. So I did a lot of racing, and it's just loads of fun. And I really enjoyed sailing. You could say, oh, our ally sunk. Oh dear. So that cutter, or yeah, he is a cutter. That cutter. Yeah, we might actually get the chance. Let's just reload with double shot. Let's just hit. I'm just using the keys there to select. Okay, double shot is historically, as far as I know. If I get this wrong, please correct me. But historically, as far as I know, double shot is where you actually load 2 cannonballs into the chamber instead of 1, or it could actually mean that you're loading two loads, or 2 powder charges. So you're actually loading twice the amount of powder into the cannon breech instead of 1 load of powder, which causes the cannonball to basically be technically twice as devastating. So it's either one of those. I can't quite remember. It's been a while since I read some naval history. Oh, battle has ended. He sunk. We didn't really need to do much to him there. And he sunk, so we won. And yeah, so the game is still in early alpha. You can see here the battle page. Mantok here, I had the most damage. We all killed 1 each. A few hit close. This is basically the main page at the moment. This, again, still in early alpha. There's so much more that will be added to this game in the future, but at the moment they're just testing the combat, the actual in-game combat. There'll be a whole open world map and everything, so it will, if you've ever played Pirates of the Burning Sea, which I have, I used to, and I left that game because I didn't really like the arcade feel of it. I wanted something more hardcore, and this seems to be promising that much. You can see all of our ships types here. More will be added as time goes on, but you've got a there's no like graphics, so when you click on it, it doesn't show you a picture of them or anything. It just tells you what ship you're looking at, and what one you have selected, and then you've got your different game options down here. But so far you have to play your way along, and the more experience you gain as you win battles or hit other ships with your cannonballs, you gain experience, and you eventually unlock the bigger and bigger and better ships. This is just a general chat for everyone that's logged in at the moment, as far as I know. So it's basically a massive public chat for anyone who is currently in the game. 100 users. So that's as far as I know. I am at the brig, of course, so far. The Snow is next, and that's kind of like a corvette type. And then, of course, the Surprise. If any of you who are familiar with Master and Commander will immediately know what the Surprise is, the HMS Surprise. That is going to be my all-time favorite ship, of course, alongside the brig, which is what I was just showing you. The brig, it's as you saw, it's much smaller. It's more nimble. It's more of a scout ship. The Surprise is you could call the Surprise a small frigate. In the days when the Surprise was at the top of a game. That would have been, I would have thought, late 1700s. But as soon as 1800 came along, the Surprise's days were numbered, and much bigger ships were being built, heavy frigates, 74s, and much more guns and different hull designs and so forth. But the HMS Surprise was in fact originally a French ship, as far as I know. Patrick O'Brien's novels are thought to be some of the best historical fiction ever written on this particular part of history, which is British naval warfare of this kind of time period. This is like, you could call this, this is after the Battle of Trafalgar, or the books in the series I'm talking about. So the HMS Surprise would have been around that time period. But yeah, great game. I haven't gone that far, so at the moment I will just leave you with a few more cool looking things that happen in the game, and this is pretty much just a first look at what I hope to be a very successful game. And yeah, enjoy, and I hope you like it. It's not something that I've told anyone about, that this is something that I'm going to, you know, do on the channel, but as soon as I heard about this game, and as soon as I started playing, I knew that this is something that I will probably want to make YouTube videos about, and maybe World of Warships when it comes out into open beta. But I don't know if I want to do that. It's probably a game I'm going to enjoy, but it's not going to be a game that I feel I want to make videos on. My channel is more for simulators. It's more for appreciating the pretty high learning curves of simulators, and so I think this game, on the face of it, as you can see, could come across as a fairly arcade game where, you know, you just point and shoot, and you adjust your elevation, and you shoot again, and you turn left and right, and you wiggle your sails around in the wind, and so forth and so forth. But this is the kind of game I'm feeling already where you can apply a lot of tactics to this game, and depending on how good you are at thinking ahead of your enemy, how you use the wind, how you use your strengths and weaknesses against your opponents will really play out. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that kind of side of this game, you know, understanding the subtleties of naval combat at, you know, in this particular time period of history is going to be really cool, really interesting. So yeah, there we go. So we've got the yacht, the Lynx, the cutter, the brig, the Snow, the Surprise, and then the Trincomalee. I think that's a Spanish frigate. The Constitution was an American frigate, the USS Constitution. The Bellona was the HMS Bellona. That was a British 74. The Bellona actually also features in the Patrick O'Brian novels, the Master and Commander novels, and the Bellona is a ship that Jack Aubrey actually captains for a short while, a little later on in the series. Basically, the book series is where the first book in the series is called Master and Commander, which is when Jack Aubrey first becomes an acting commander of a small ship or a brig. The word brig, by the way, is short for brigantine. It's just the particular type of ship that you see right here, the one that I'm using at the moment. But as he moves up in his command and in his naval career, he gets into the HMS Surprise, and then he eventually, by the end of the series, he gets into bigger ships, and he becomes an admiral at the end of the day. But it's an incredibly gripping series of books, 26 of them in all. I didn't really mean this to turn into like a Master and Commander promo video, but it kind of is, because that's where I've come from in my love of naval combat. And I seriously challenge anyone who's interested in reading serious books to give them a go. I think you can get them as audiobooks these days on Audible, or you can just buy them off Amazon. I'm pretty sure they'll come as digital downloads on Amazon Kindle or something like that, or iBooks. definitely give them a read. And of course, if not, most of you who have come this far to look at this game, or anyone who's interested in this game, probably has seen films like Hornblower with Owen Griffith, I think his name is, or of course Russell Crowe as Jack Aubrey in the film Master and Commander, I think, that came out in 2004. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. So in the future, as I progress up the list of ships, as soon as I get to the surprise, of course, I'm not really going to be bothered with anything else, because that's what this game is. That's what I'm going to be playing this game for, is really to play in the surprise. I'm thinking that's probably going to be my favourite of all ships. But the Victory is on the list as well, so the Victory as well is something I'd love to play, so I'm looking forward to getting there. The Victory is actually, the real Victory, HMS Victory, is down in Portsmouth in England. I have gone and seen it a couple times, so if my series of videos on this particular game is popular on YouTube, on the channel, and people are interested, whenever I actually get the Victory in this game, I might actually take a trip down to Portsmouth and take my camera and actually make a YouTube video to show you what the real Victory looks like in real life. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure the USS Constitution is in real life is I think it's a replica of the original Constitution. I'm not sure if it's the same one. I'm pretty sure it's a replica. The Victory, though, the HMS Victory in Portsmouth, is the real Victory. That it's just been well maintained, and it's in a dry dock, and it's all preserved and so forth. The HMS Surprise, I'm not sure if it's still around. I think I remember hearing it sank a few years ago in a hurricane. Very sad. But for the movie, I think they use the real ship in certain parts of the movie. But yeah, and there are a number of brigs dotted around the globe. I know there is one in Lake Erie, North America, just a little far away from it. It was called, what was it called? It was called the USS Niagara. Yeah, that was a nice little brig that sat in the lake there, and that was mainly in the American Battle of 1812. I think it was. That's when that time period of that particular ship was. But anyway, I will stop blabbing away, and whenever I have some more interesting gameplay and tactics to show you, I will upload another video. So that from me, folks, is all so far. And I hope you enjoy this short video, and I'd love to hear what you think about me starting starting to make videos on a new game, which is an extra step for me. This channel has only ever been about flight sim videos so far, but I'm really looking forward to playing this game more and seeing how this game develops. So I hope you will join me on my journey, as it were, in this game. So yep, that's all from me, folks, and I will catch you next time. Happy sailing.